Hi everybody, this is Tyler here from Buchanan Lighting, and this is just a informational tutorial video on how to quickly and easily identify where the important information is on your light bulbs or on your lighting products, so that you can capture this information and send it to us so we can quickly and easily identify what you're looking for, and get you quotes and get you products. And so you can do this from the safety and comfort of your home or of your workplace. With all the changes that have been happening with COVID-19, we decided just to kind of put out this quick little primer video. So surrounding us here, we have some different light bulbs with some different technologies and some ballasts and some fluorescents up in the corner. So we're just slowly and easily just going to rip through some of these, show you where most of the coding information is, how to take a photo of a light bulb that you're looking for or one that you're looking to upgrade, and it'll just take a couple minutes, and then with this information in hand, it'll make your sourcing of lighting products and our ability to service your lighting needs much quicker, much more efficiently, and so we can all get through this challenging time together. So, moving forward, right off the bat, typically speaking, when you're taking pictures of light bulbs to send it, there's two main types of pictures that I need. So the first one that we require, so here's our lovely light bulb. You got a light bulb. The first thing I want to see is just a profile view of the light bulb. So we're looking for something basically to give me a sense of scope. So I'm just looking to see, okay, it is this big or it is this big. So I want one kind of bing, like you were a beautiful picture product. There we go, ka-clam. Just something of the overall size. The second thing we're looking for is demarcations or markings on the light bulb that are going to indicate the wattage, the voltage, and the color temperature. Those are our three main things that we're looking for. So in my hand, I have a lovely ICO spiral compact fluorescent GU24 and 2700K. Now, how do I know that? I know that because of this information right there. So when I have this type of ordering code, it gives me everything I need to know to get you answers on your pricing, your availability, your color temperature, your CRI, and a host of other information that I need to know to service you and to get you the answers that you require. So, step one, picture one. A picture as much as you can of the full outside of the bulb to give me a sense of size. A lot of our customers will take something like this and they'll just put it beside a loonie or a toonie or a standardized, something that would give me a frame of reference. Usually that's done more for like the smaller light bulbs where we're comparing multiple different types of small bases. But step one, picture of the whole thing. Step two, picture of the code. Like this type of information. Often it's right beside where the manufacturer name is printed. And with this exact information, so picture one, picture of the whole thing. Picture two, picture of the code. And then subsequently we'll talk about some of the base questions here, why they're there, and how with this simple questionnaire we can get you rocking and rolling and get the lights back up on your place. So we're going to just quickly go through some other different types of lighting products that you're going to find in your home, in your office, in your workplace, and typically speaking, where if you had something, where to look for that coding information. So starting off, a classic. Here we have a G40 Fat Albert. Now, on this type of incandescent bulb, and it can be a regular A shape, it can be this lovely G shape right here. Information with these is typically going to come in one of two places. Number one, it's going to be right on the bloody top. So here we have, Satco is going to focus for me. And so there we go. So this is the type of a stamp that we're looking for. And it's going to give me all the information I need. The second place that you'll often find coding information on incandescent, that happens to be an LED, but light bulbs, if it's not on the top, it'll either be down right along the bottom of the glass or right at the top of the collar. So right here, you can see I have my 130 volt, 11 watt, and then it says Taiwan, where it's made. And obviously, I'm aware it is ceramic yellow. But that is the type of information. Top, collar. Now, sometimes you will get into circumstances. I grabbed this little 15T7. Now, you'll see here, let's see if I can show it. Oh, you're being troublesome. Hold on. It won't come in. Now, on this particular one, you're not sure if you can see it or not. Sometimes what will happen is a dab of solder will come over top of the lettering. You can just see the lettering right there. If you get a dab of solder, look for a second light bulb that you could have in the string. Typically speaking, we'll know right away from physical size what your parameters are, and then we can just explore from there. If you have something like a compact fluorescent, this is a PL style compact fluorescent, contains mercury, and once again, so there's our standard coding information. This is what we're looking for, and then we're also curious about the base type. When we're interested in the base type, typically it's connected in this information here. Sometimes it's not. What I'm interested in is the amount of pins and where these indexes are. So when you're taking a picture, you just kind of want to see it like that, so I know whether or not I have a 2-pin or a 4-pin variant, what my code is, and then subsequently we can move on and get you some numbers and some pricing and availability. When you come into ballasts, the important ballast information, ballasts are kind of fun. They do list a couple things. So often it'll say the types, often it'll say the types of lamps that it'll run, the quantity it'll run, and then it'll give some variance here. And the other thing that we're really interested in is this information, so your input voltage. Canada's funny because they're one of the only countries that use 347 volt. So there's a lot of businesses in, especially around the Ottawa region, that carry 347 volt. So when I have the information of the lamps that it runs and the volts, and then the wiring diagram here, obviously, we're easily able to cross-reference and move forward. When it comes to little halogen bulbs, typically speaking, they'll have it very finely printed. Now, obviously, with the halogens, you don't want to touch the glass directly with your fingers. The oil from your hand can cause soft spots on the glass. Oopsie daisy, that's upside down. So there it shows us it's a G4, which indicates the base type, and is a 12 volt, 10 watt. So often on the little halogens, you'll either see it printed directly on the glass, or for example, right here. So that's a little 915 miniature. These are often used in emergency exit applications. And on other halogen type bulbs, you'll get one of two things. Number one is they'll simply be printed down at the base on the ceramic. You'll often see this too on the double-ended ceramic variants. Or what will happen is if you're not seeing any numbers, you'll often find things that are on this little BAB here. So it says BAB-FG, 12 volt, 20 watt, 38 degree. A lot of times you'll see this type of code, this BAB, FMW, EXN. Those are what called ANSI codes, and they're standardized. It means nothing to you. It means the world to me, and it's able for me to quickly identify a standardized voltage, wattage, and beam spread that we can then get you some information. When it comes to ballasts, here's what do I got here? I have a metal halide 100-watt ballast. Isn't this thing a beauty? Then we're going to go and same thing. This is the type of coding information that we're looking for. This is the label that you want to take a picture of. Obviously, like we said, full picture, label picture. Now, when it comes into some of the linear-based stuff, so what do we got here? Oopsie daisy. So, in my hand, on fluorescent stuff, this is typically speaking what you'll see. So there is an F10 T8CW. That type of coding usually comes right at the very end of the tube, by the socket, by the prongs. And so that's a T8 variant. T stands for tubular, and the number that comes after is the amount of 1/8 of an inch in diameter. You don't need to know that, but if I say that's what the T's are for. Now, is this one you're going to catch? There we go. So this is an F14 T5 841. So that's another example of something. I need a picture of that. Obviously, if you have a 4-foot or an 8-foot or a tube that you can't fit the whole thing in, that's perfectly okay. All I need to know is get that coding information. And now here's some other N types that you might have not be familiar with, but we'll just kind of briefly touch on. So a lot of times too, so here's another example of a code. So this is a T12, so an F20 T12BL. So that tells me it's a 350 nanometer blacklight type version. And this is the type of coding that we're looking for, or that pin type as well. Saying a couple other types here. This is another common type of bulb you'll come across. These are often used in external sign applications. Come on, don't be like that. There we go. So when you see that double recessed high output contact end, that tells me it's a high output application. And then once again, whoopsie daisy, that's the type of code that we're looking for to be able to get you answers. Now, one of the last ones here, we'll just show you quickly. You'll often see this in 8-foot interior tubes. This is called a slimline pin. And there, once again, is our information. F36 T12. Oopsie daisy. Cool white. So, typically speaking, that is the type of information you're looking for. That is where it's found. And then with that, that's going to take care of the kind of the 80-20 rule of things we're looking for to easily identify what you have and either get you a quote and a price and availability. When we go through the price and availability thing, these are some of the main questions that we're going to have to touch on. They're pretty simple, but we'll just run through them quickly here. When you come into... I'm going to use this as my magic wand. Here we go. I'll use the T5. It's a little thinner. So, basic stuff up here. What we're looking for is just your name, if you're attached to an organizational name, phone number, and email. We need all these things. Bulb number X or blank of blank. What that means is that if you have 2 light bulbs that you're looking for and we're getting this information from you, I'll put there it's bulb number 1 of 2, and this is bulb number 2 of 2. That way we just make sure to capture each individual bulb and the exact requirements that you're looking for. The main lead questions as we go through them here. Really simple. Approximately how many pieces you're looking for. What is the voltage? So that's like we were talking about the 120 or the 347, or if you have a low voltage system. Those are types of information that we do require that you need to provide for us. If you're unsure where it is or how to know, we can definitely talk on the phone and we can get this all sorted out. We don't expect you to know all this, but we do expect to have the conversation about it because we will need to get these answers to serve you properly. When we talk about things, if it's on a dimmer or a high-low switch, This has to do with compatibility if you're looking to switch from incandescent or halogen to LED. So this is often why we're asking these questions. Is it on a photocell or a timer? This has to often do with exterior residential applications, and then whether or not the timer is digital or mechanical. This is a big hiccup of whether or not we can quickly or easily move you into energy efficient LED technology. A lot of the digital timers are not really well prepared to handle some of the exterior LEDs, and we can touch on that in another video. Is it an open or enclosed fixture? So this is information we need to know if you're looking to switch from incandescent to LED. A lot of LEDs are not designed to work in an enclosed fixture. If you're unsure of whether or not you have an enclosed fixture, here's an easy way to figure out. Can you touch the light bulb with your finger? If you could take a pencil and touch the light bulb, your light bulb's probably open. There's enough air getting to it. If it's sealed, so you can imagine either a sealed pot fixture or a close to ceiling fixture where there's no easy passive airflow, you have an enclosed fixture, and that means we have to get you the appropriate light bulb to work in that space. Is delivery time sensitive? Things right now are kind of wonky on delivery times. There is a lot of products still, but if it's something where you need immediate, let us know, and then we will prioritize when we're going through our list of products to offer to you, that this is a forefront of your needs. So secondary questions kind of has to do with if you're looking to upgrade or change from your original, whether that's because it's no longer available or you're looking for an energy efficiency upgrade or something to last you longer. When we ask you if you're looking for identical, this is often situationally dependent, where the piece of equipment you have has either a connection type or you have to match it exactly because you're in a museum or an art piece or decorative or for aesthetic reasons that it has to be identical. Completely reasonable, but that just means you need the exact make and model. When we say, are you looking for similar, so for example, this bulb. This exact bulb is made by 25 different manufacturers. What do we have here? Yeah, it's an F14 T5 841. So that generic code is made by lots of other different companies, and if it's just an apple-to-apple swap, it's really easy for us to say, oh, you don't need the Simban brand, I'll get you Philips, I'll get you GE, blah, blah, and then we can just swap you over with no headaches. If you're looking for something more energy efficient, this has to do with obviously switching, typically speaking, to either fluorescent or LED. And if this is something that you're looking to explore in the quote that you want back, are you more concerned with upfront cost or cost over time? Typically, all that means is, are you looking for something that's cheap, immediate, and right now? Or are you looking to say, I'm looking for something that will be the cheapest at the end of year one? Typically speaking, for all of our hydro analysis stuff, we keep it within a 1 year window for return on investment, and we can absolutely explore that with you if you have any questions. And then obviously that leads into the second question. For us to calculate it, if you're looking for hydro efficiencies, we have to know how often it's on. If the light bulb's never on, I can sell you an efficient light bulb, but you won't get any monetary savings. So we need to know how often it's on. Is there anything you want to change about it? Do you want the color temperature, which indicates the tone of the white, i.e. warm white versus a cool white? That means like 2700 degree Kelvin, 6,000, 5,000 degree Kelvin. Are you looking for the brightness or the volume of lumens to go up or down? And anything else that maybe you just, whether it's for aesthetic or decorative or performance, you want a frost versus a clear. So these are just kind of basic questions. You don't need to fill this out. We'll happily go over this with you should we get to that point. If you're unsure, this is an easy thing that we can email you. It just has a 1/4-inch grid pattern, and you're more than welcome to put your light bulbs on it, take your photo, email it to us, and then with that information, we can start the process of getting you answers for your lighting needs. If you have any questions, you can reach us, obviously, at info@buchananlighting.ca and 613-728-3551. Thank you for sticking together. Thank you for being good during this time. If you have any questions, you know how to reach us. We love you, Ottawa. We love you, customers. And stay safe out there, and we look forward to serving you in the future. Bye for now.